Hey, and welcome back to the Social Psychology PDA YouTube channel. Today, we are going to learn about 14 bad habits that destroy your confidence. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Living in the past. Simply put, evolution wired our brains to remember bad things in order to warn us when there is a real danger to our survival in the future. Additionally, our brains focus on the negative so that we can clearly see the danger of fixing it. So, the past is not just the past, but it is the actual memories stored in the brain. It's not as simple as the past is the past, let it go. It's not something you give up. It is a physical bond that is stored as an important part of your brain. Your past has made you here. As important as it is, the past can be very toxic. All the shocks, bad and good, happened there. Bad memories can actually affect our future and present because our brain reactivates them and makes us feel them physically, making our mood worse. The way we overcome the past is to learn the crucial lesson from it. Number 2. Comparing yourself to others. We've all been there. You get caught up in your social media feed, and you start to notice that other people are reaching milestones faster than you. Maybe they have a better home, a better job, or are happily married while you struggle with dating. You feel jealous, insecure, and sometimes angry that these people have something you don't. But wait, isn't it as bad as it seems? Comparing yourself to others is normal human behavior. We are bound to notice differences and make judgments. But this habit, if left unchecked, can destroy your self-confidence. It can make you feel jealous or resentful of other people's achievements. Instead, try to focus on what sets you apart in a positive way. And remind yourself that even though everyone's path seems the same, these bad habits are signs of low self-confidence. Number 3. Neglecting your appearance. You already know the importance of good hygiene and taking care of your health and appearance. And one of the most important things you should notice is that when you neglect your appearance, you are essentially disrespecting yourself. Also, if you don't feel good about your appearance, your self-esteem will take a hit, especially when it comes to social situations. It may seem like a superficial point, but taking proper care of your appearance is really possible to go a long way in building your self-confidence. Number 4. You're always late and forgetful. When you're scrambling to get things done, you're bound to procrastinate and forget. This can cause serious anxiety. When you constantly worry about being late or missing a meeting or appointment altogether, you can feel extremely stressed. This will also affect your self-confidence because when you're late, people won't give you the benefit of the doubt. They think you can't be trusted. They don't know you were stuck in traffic or had to wait for the coffee shop to open. They will think you don't care about what they have to say because you didn't do it on time. Number 5. Obsessing over minor flaws. When you look in the mirror, do you quickly notice a slight flaw in your appearance? Are you stuck on this error, magnifying it in your mind until it feels like it's all you can see? If so, you should stop. This practice is toxic to trust. Even if you think you're honest with yourself, focusing too much on your flaws can make you despise what you see. When this happens, your focus shifts from appreciating all the things you love about yourself to constantly examining everything you think is wrong. This ritual of self-criticism leaves you feeling sad, inadequate, and ashamed. Not the best atmosphere for a confident mood. Instead of dwelling on minor flaws, use that same energy to see the positive qualities in yourself. At first, it may seem strange. After all, positivity is often difficult when cynicism becomes a habit. But like any new habit to develop, daily practice changes the way you feel about you. Number 6. Talking about your perceived weaknesses. There's a fine line between self-deprecation and taking it too far. Self-deprecation is meant to show that you're a normal person who doesn't take yourself too seriously, and it can come across as insecure at times. Plus, if you're constantly making negative comments about yourself, people will notice and either get tired of hearing it or maybe start to think you're not as great as you seem. If you must discuss a weakness in a professional context, such as a job interview, frame it as an area for growth. It will show that there is a willingness, even if there are things you can improve, and a desire to learn new skills and excel in areas beyond those that come naturally. Number 7. Letting other people make decisions for you. Many people are guilty of not being able to control their own lives. When we feel out of personal control, we lose self-confidence. You can't be trusted if you don't know what you want or if you don't believe your opinions matter. Confidence is built by expressing your desires in honest, empowering ways. You are your own individual. No one can make the decisions you make. Even if you make a mistake, the best lessons I've learned are making mistakes and failing. Make your own mistakes, own your failures, and you'll start changing your life for the better in no time. You will become more persistent because mistakes and failures are necessary, not optional. In the long run, this will make you more confident and resilient. Number 8. Excessive apologizing. Have you ever found yourself saying, "I'm sorry," even when someone else has bumped into you? While apologies can be powerful and important, being overly polite or always sorry, it can actually damage your confidence. Apologizing too much can make you seem unsure of yourself, even if you lack confidence in your abilities or decisions. You shouldn't apologize for things you know aren't your fault or for something you're not sorry for. By doing so, you put the blame on yourself and make others think you are wrong. They should forgive when asked, otherwise they lose their effectiveness and meaning. Number 9. Maintaining toxic relationships. When it comes to being confident, the relationships you have in your life play a major role. That's because it affects how everyone around you thinks and feels about you. The people closest to you, your family, friends, coworkers, and even acquaintances have an impact on your self-esteem. If people around you are constantly criticizing or putting you down, your confidence will decrease. If you have toxic people in your life who threaten your self-esteem and significantly destroy your self-esteem, it's time to end those relationships. So take a step back and consider whether your relationship is healthy for both parties involved. Look for positive reinforcement, not haters. Gain tighter control over positive influences. Develop your friend group and be intentional with those around you. Make sure you surround yourself with people who have your best interests at heart and who love you and want to see you thrive. Number 10. Negative thinking. When we stop and think how many times a day we feed into negative self-talk, we'd be surprised. When we wake up looking in the mirror and criticizing our under eye bags. When we tell ourselves we look fat in the clothes we wear. The report we gave was not good enough. The presentation we gave could have been better. We wouldn't take that person to coffee because they would say no. Most of us have been using negative thinking our entire lives, so it takes time to change it. Negative thinking should be replaced with positive and realistic thoughts. We need to catch ourselves saying something negative and challenge the validity of that thought. If it lacks merit, replace it or let it go. You'll feel more positive in no time. Number 11. Lowering your standards. Lowering your standards to fit whatever happens means accepting less than what you do suitable, obviously. Lowering your standards will make things more comfortable or easier for you. It may be an easy fix at the moment, but it won't help your confidence in the long run. In fact, lowering your standards lowers your self-worth and creates more problems solves. It's also a slippery slope. Once you start doing it for one thing, it gets easier. Ask others to do the same. We may not all hold the same values, and that's okay. But if you have a set of standards and stick to them, you will be happy and assured more confident. Number 12. You care too much about what other people think. No doubt at some point we have said, "I don't care what other people think of me." But if we really took the time to think about it, we would realize that there is a lot of truth in that statement. It's normal to care what other people think, especially if we're trying to impress them. As human beings, we want to be liked and respected by others. However, when you value other people's thoughts and opinions more than your own and change your behavior to reflect what you think others want to see, you are doing yourself a disservice. Remember that it's your life and not someone else's, so don't let it dictate your life. Number 13. Over-complimenting others. When you compliment others, you are essentially telling them how much better they are than you. Sure, building others up is important, but if you do it too much and become a relatively small fish, you start to believe this narrative. Instead of repeating this cycle of praising others and putting yourself down, take time out to appreciate your own gifts and talents. Remember that everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. After all, if we were all the same, none of us would stand out in the crowd. Each of us has something special that makes us unique. So don't forget about your positive traits. Number 14. You don't have a way of organizing your thoughts. Think about the last time you were thinking and had more than 10 ideas pop into your head. That's a lot of ideas, and you'll find it hard to focus on one specific task or project. You may feel overwhelmed and angry at what's going on in your mind at the same time. This eventually causes you to lose your confidence because you feel like your brain is completely overloaded. If you can't stay focused, you might end up leaving some important tasks and projects behind. You will feel overwhelmed and disorganized with your day and week. You will not be able to accomplish anything because there is not enough time for everything that needs to be done.